let's see. What's the thing that most YouTubers are cashing in on these days?
Cats!
Oh, yeah, that's been a thing since the internet began.
No, Manny, I mean Cats, the musical, the movie!
Oh, you mean the motion capture train wreck version of Cats? The movie I have no intentions of seeing?
Yep!
Oh. Well, how about I talk about how there already was a movie version of the stage show that is 100 times better?
Are you asking for my permission?
Nah, I'm just a lazy way for us to segue into the subject of the video, really.
Oh, okay. Better than putting in the time and effort of writing out a pointless comedy skit to waste the viewer's time, huh?
Could have been worse. You could have turned us into cats for the entire review.
Insert the most amazingly over-the-top and bested transformation sequence right here!
Why do I give you these ideas? Whether you're a cat person or a dog person, there's a joke in there about furries if you look hard enough. Cats is a show that has universal appeal. It's offbeat, skittish, rebellious, but it's also unsettling, confusing, and maybe a little bit creepy. It's a show that sways between being beautiful to mystical, mysterious to funny. Cats is a bizarre idea, and it was strung together so haphazardly that to me it still feels a little frayed around the edges. It's peculiar, but extravagant. But it's just also downright odd. Most importantly though, Cats is an experience, an extravagant dance show with a story about redemption, embracing our strengths as well as mourning our regrets. When the movie was announced, I knew right off the bat I was not going to see it. To me, it is very rare for a stage show to translate well to the big screen, and I just knew that Cats, though popular, would not work as a live-action film or an animated film. It belongs on stage to me. And look at that! The movie is both live-action and animated, and it looks horrifying. I haven't seen this movie, and I'm not going to slate it or anything, but I've never been a big fan of motion capture. For a show so well known for its makeup and costumes, why is the film done all in motion capture? Other than how awful and unfinished this movie looks to me, it has nothing to entice me in. I guess the only thing going for it from my perspective is that they have Judi Dench playing Old Deuteronomy in the live-action film adaptation. She was originally meant to play Jenny Anydots the Gumby Cat as well as Grisabella in the original stage musical, when just weeks before opening she snapped her Achilles heel. She was replaced by Elaine Page, who made the song Memories so, well, memorable in the first place. I'm lucky enough to have seen this stage show live as a teenager, also having seen it on VHS as a kid, and I now own the 2-disc DVD version of the 1998 stage show. It's unfair of me to say this having never seen or having any intentions of watching the film version released in 2019, but to me, this is the definitive version of Cats, and I want to geek out about it. Cats is a 1998 direct-to-video musical film based on the stage musical Cats by Andrew Lloyd Webber, itself based on Old Possum's book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. The film is a recreation of the stage musical, but with a few changes here and there. Love it or hate it, Cats is a stage musical dance show that celebrates a wide variety of genres of music. This show doesn't have a recognised story as such to speak of. Instead, it's a show with a story that feels fragmented. It's more poetry set to music than anything else, with a narrative that threads each song together in a subtle way that you kind of have to fill in the gaps yourself. At some points, it feels more like a ballet than a musical stage show really, with one dance segment lasting almost 13 minutes long. There's no speaking parts in this movie either. Though the songs and characters seem simple at first, they do reveal deeper insights and complex themes, in spite of it seeming to be just a quaint, silly little play about cats. And yeah, to some people, it is a silly musical with dancers dressed as cats singing about different characters instead of telling an actual story. There's no lead to speak of really here, as it's more an ensemble of lots of different characters who get their moment to shine. Though, yeah, some characters do outshine others. The show is set in a junkyard or a wasteland where the props are blown up in scale so the actors seem to be cat size in comparison. It's really clever. There are no human characters in this show, but only a large human boot that's thrown at the cats at the beginning of the play when they are singing their so-called angelical choir that gives the cats scale compared to humans. The musical tells the story, if you can call it that, of a tribe of cats called the Jellicles, and the night that Deuteronomy, the leader of the clan, makes a decision on what is known as the Jellicle choice and decides which cat will ascend to the Heaviside lair and come back to a new life. Cats, as an animal, are very aloof animals. They are also nocturnal, hence the musical taking place at night under a full moon. The significance of the moon in cats, 2 cats and 4 cats, is worshipped almost like a goddess. The moon is associated with emotions, unconscious thoughts, moods, and of course, memories, which is a huge theme in this show. If you had to explain the story of the show to someone unfamiliar with this show, or heaven forbid someone was dumb enough to go and see the live action movie without actually having seen the stage show first, I'm sort of guessing that it doesn't exactly translate over to non-fans of the stage musical very well here. It is mainly about an outsider of the tribe coming back and trying to reconnect with them, but being shunned right up until the end. Grisabella, ironically being a cat that is stained, matted, and close to death, is the character that manages to conjure up the theatrical magic to give the show life and reason. The poem for Grisabella, written by T.S. Eliot, was not actually published in the original book, but yet this one is not only the most memorable song from the show, but also one of the most powerful songs ever sung on stage. Cats has a magical and haunting quality about it. The music may feel a little dated in this version, and this DVD adaptation, there are special effects here and there that make it a little different from the actual stage show, possibly making it a little less magical. The advantage of filming a live stage show, though, is that the camera can get up and close and personal with the performers, allowing little character moments that are either planned or made up on the spot. Cats possesses lots of unusual things. First of all, clothes and makeup that makes all the participants of the musical look similar to real cats as much as possible, without special effects and without harming the musicality and not hindering the movements. The costumes are designed to emphasize the dancing. This is a dance show after all. There's no animatronics or anything to make the ears move, for instance, or the tails move. They're basically dance uniforms that have been furred up. Tights and leotards, leg warmers, ballet shoes, and oh yeah, tails that kinda just hang there for most of the characters. The show relies a lot on the audience to just suspend their disbelief. It's people pretending to be cats. But I guess that's part of the magic here. Anthropomorphizing animal characters in theatre is one of the oldest practices on stage. I mean, look at Swan Lake, or Midsummer Night's Dream, for instance, or the more recent Lion King stage adaptation. Cats, though, relies mostly on the physical aspect of how the actors move, more than the costumes themselves. But let's address the so-called elephant in the room here. Why are the characters so sexualized? Let's face it, humans have kind of always had a thing for sexualizing cats. And we use euphemisms to objectify and dehumanize men and women. 2 women fighting is referred to a cat fight, or we say when people fight, their claws are out. Cats, this show plays right into this idea, and sexualizes both male and female characters. Rum Tum Tugger and Bomballerina being the best examples of this. It's not deliberate, I don't think. I mean, the actors are fully clothed head to toe, but the costumes themselves leave nothing to the imagination. The costumes are skin-hugging tight and light out of necessity as well as style. I swear I did not intentionally make this video as furry bait, but I have to wonder if Cats, the musical, had anything to do with the development of the furry community. I know this isn't solely responsible for the entire subculture of furries, since, you know, anthropomorphizing animals has been part of humanity since, well, ever. But this isn't so much humanizing cats as much as it is catifying humans, and it seems that hiding the human face is a big part of the furry community. Maybe this is partly why the movie didn't appeal to the furry community as much as was expected, but I have to wonder why though, because the show is essentially a series of songs about fursonas. Tell me I'm wrong! You could boil down the story of this show to just being a popularity contest or a personality contest. The cats fighting over who gets to go to the Heaviside layer, presenting themselves to Deuteronomy one by one. It's not really made clear exactly what the Heaviside layer really is. I mean, is it heaven? Is it limbo? The cat afterlife? Who knows? Cats could have so easily have been a blunder, but it became something absolutely extraordinary. The costumes are beautiful and detailed, but they are also simple and minimal, allowing the actors to fully emote and move, without any kind of hindrance anywhere at all. These modern productions are all very well, but there's something to be said about practicality. Magic doesn't have to be big and loud. It doesn't have to be motion capture. It can be quiet, mystical and mysterious. It can be handmade. It can be fun, silly and flirtatious. It can be a little frayed around the edges. There's nothing to compare to live theatre, and if you ever get the chance to see this show, see it. And if you've seen the new movie, hey, tell me about it in the comments below. I have no intentions of seeing it, but maybe someone can persuade me to. Who knows? I'm Mad Munchkin. Stay creative. Meow.
I find the lack of cat puns in this video highly disturbing.
Oh, no.
I mean, I've got a million cat puns you could have
Cat
used.
puns.
It's the perfect list of cat vocabulary.
Stop.
I am not kitten
I
around.
said stop.
The new Cats movie looks simply clawful.
Please stop.
I mean, are these special effects for real? I mean, the dancers do look very cat-athletic,
More
but
cat
it's
puns.
actually also
Please
making
stop.
me cat-atonic. It's pretty hysterical. I'm so glad I'm watching the 1998 stage musical version right now instead of the Moo movie. It's really giving me pause for thought.
I'm begging you, stop!
Don't give me catitude, Maddie.